The UK's North Sea oil and gas industry continues to make a massive contribution to British energy needs and the UK economy. Since production began from the North Sea, the industry has produced around 33 billion barrels of oil, and there's probably as much still left to produce. Work through Pilot, which is a cross-industry and government leadership group, continues to push these estimates up. Policies of full and fair opportunity. The search for new ways of working that reduce costs and benefit the whole industry. These have led to around 3,000 supplies and service companies of all sizes, supporting over 250,000 jobs throughout the UK. The UK oil and gas supply chain is strongest where Britain had traditional manufacturing skills. But the UK has also established many new companies in the downhole, exploration and oilfield support areas that produce niche products and services for the offshore industry.
Following the 86 oil price crash, the area had to really re-examine itself and say, what are our strengths? And they realised that the strengths were twofold. They weren't in buildings. The strengths were in skills of the people who worked here, and the strength was in the technology that had been gained. And that can be used not only here, but overseas. So from the base developed here, the technology in subsea or underwater work is now being marketed and used elsewhere.
UK Subsea Technology is the premier group in the world. We are in that position because we've really been developing subsea technology over a period of 25 years. Starting in the late 70s and then in the early 80s, when we in fact trialled and tested a lot of what is now today's technology. So it's from that basis, in fact, that we've now built up a huge industry. We have something of the order of 700 companies undertaking subsea technology activity, employing somewhere around about 30,000 people in this country, and generating goods to the value of about $4.5 billion per annum. Of that number, 50% is exported overseas.
So what are the results of all of this? Well, by the 1980s, the late 80s, about 70% of supplies were coming from British sources. But perhaps even more important, Britain and its workforce is now recognised internationally as a centre of excellence when it comes to oil and gas.
We always had the aspiration that eventually we will be more and more concerned with export matters. We expected that if we were successful, then the industry will be able to address overseas international opportunities. And if it's been nurtured successfully in the domestic market, so that it was competitive, it would be able to compete internationally.
So what are the particular strengths of the UK oil and gas industry? Britain has experience across the board, from exploration to delivery of affordable power to the consumer, all the way along the value chain. The UK is a world leader in downstream technology. It has developed the use of gas reserves to provide a local benefit to its own people. Oil from the North Sea was always seen as a commodity item which could be sold anywhere in the world. But gas had to have a local market to become worth developing. So in 1966, clean natural gas started to be brought ashore for British use. Now gas is the first choice for industrial, commercial and residential consumers. Supported by a national transmission system of over 6,400 kilometres and supplying about 20 million homes through a network distribution system, gas is now used extensively for cooking, heating, power generation, water heating and transport. This significant development has led a revolution in design and manufacturing technology, and the UK is now the envy of the world for its high-value, quality systems, backed up by significant standards of safety. Products are tested to destruction and monitored on a lifetime basis. The UK gas industry has developed and prospered to become a world leader.